Welcome back to Healing from Racism, Lessons from the Tao Te Ching. I'm Lisa Jagona, and in this video series, I'm using the passages of the Tao Te Ching to look at what racism is, where it begins, how we internalize it, and to illuminate the path towards healing from racism. In this video, I'm going to be looking at verse 11 of the Tao Te Ching, which says, "We join spokes together in a wheel, but it is the center hole that makes the wagon move. We shape clay into a pot, but it is the emptiness inside that holds whatever we want. We hammer wood for a house, but it is the inner space that makes it livable. We work with being, but non-being is what we use." Verse 11 directs our attention back to the non-being part of ourselves, the unseen inner part that is at our center, the spirit within, our real center of power. Like a room in a house, this inner part within us can become cluttered, dirty, and even forgotten. And when this space is obscured, we can lose touch with our real power and suffer from endless feelings of deprivation. Limiting narratives, like the ones underpinning racism, are designed to disconnect us from this part of ourselves. They direct our attention to the being part of ourselves, our bodies, our material possessions, our financial well-being, the external parts. And competition, comparisons, and judgments really flow from this orientation, focusing on the being part of ourselves. And because we sometimes do not have the things that we desire, such as good health or financial security, we can end up feeling deprived, like all is lost. This relates to the conversations that we have around racism. Certain people are prone to say, "Oh, racism doesn't exist," or "I don't see race." This creates an immediate reaction and infuriates people who are impacted by racism. And often, such people are trying to abdicate responsibility for the harm done by racism. In their denial, they are perpetuating racism, even if they don't believe that it is real. Yes, racism is a social construct. It is an idea. But that idea is given shape by laws, rules, codes, limitations on access and movement, and also the distribution of resources. And the inequity that arises from racism is very much real. The harm, the pain, the suffering, and the sense of deprivation that racism causes is real. And when we deny that racism exists, we're not only denying the harm that it has caused, we are also preventing ourselves from healing from it and being part of solution molding. In order to heal from racism, we need to face the darkness and acknowledge the pain that it has caused. We also need to be willing to let go of the narratives that uphold racism, such as these ideas, competitive framing of superior and inferior. When we do this, we can begin to create a version of society where perhaps truly racism doesn't exist. I think of healing from racism as having a broken leg. We can either deny that the leg is broken and hope that it will heal on its own, or we can face the pain and maybe even impose a little more pain to set it back in place in order to have it heal properly. The latter option is the only true path to healing. Denying that it exists and denying that it's broken is at best fooling yourself, and at worst being manipulative and conscriptive. The journey to heal from racism is through facing the darkness, and we can all do our part to challenge ourselves to be more aware of history and the impact, and of our own biases, and to notice the ways how we think and how we relate to each other may be perpetuating relational dynamics that give form and shape to racial inequities. Together, we are molding the future. Will the world we create be one where racism is no longer a reality? Or are we going to continue to set things in ways that perpetuate the brokenness? What do you think? I welcome your thoughts on this verse 11 of the Tao Te Ching as you think about the journey to heal from racism. You can either use the comments below, or there's a link to a form where you'll be able to send me a message directly without it being so public. And either way, thank you so much, and until next time, be well.